Hey everyone, welcome to Jaraci Cup 16. Apparently this is an incredible series, says Shrike in the chat. Well, that's good, because we're casting it right away. Saban versus Saban here. And let's go ahead and check our info.txt here. We actually do have a faction switch for the next one where it's going to be Coalition. But OrbNet grabs Galzian territories, and Shrike is going to take the Shallows. And I am really excited for this one, because these are both some pretty, pretty storied players. Shrike has been around since almost the beginning. Been up and down quite a lot. He's typically been sort of one of the tier 2 players, I guess I would say. Like the gatekeeper to tier 1, right? Where you can't consider yourself one of the best players until you're reliably beating people like Shrike and No Fun and stuff like that. And OrbNet, meanwhile, he's not been around for very long. I think this is like his 4th tournament. He's the guy who 3-0'd Descara, you know, that's not easy to do. Well, Tomcat never plays in tournaments. So. But yeah, OrbNet, kind of the guy who single-handedly made Saban BCs get nerfed because he showed how amazingly powerful they were. He was like building BCs into rail rushes. It was bizarre. So yeah, this will be a really fun match to watch. It's gonna be AV's first year from Shrike, going with the 2 on RUs that we talked about in the last cast of his. I was kind of surprised, but it turns out that this is sort of the right way to do it, because he'll end up not floating at all. It's SC first here from Orb. And he's not being too greedy. He does have his LAV fab starting. Notice that he's got 5 salvagers, and he pulls one of them over to the second. See, you like to see it. I point this kind of stuff out because really, it's like the small things like this that make it very easy to identify who's a top tier player and who isn't, right? Is that they're doing their builds correctly, you know? And that's really kind of rare in DOK, actually. Yeah, both these players, I think, are doing it just about by the books. AV Rush is a little bit of an interesting call here, of course, because the map is very, very open. And I think that the AVs are not going to have as much... How do I say it? They're not going to be, like, super amazing units during this game, but in the early game, they might be able to get quite a lot of value out, so we'll see what he's able to do with them. Oh, also notice that the base runner did not get retired. Actually, I'm gonna call that a mistake, probably. I think we saw this as well in the last casts of Shrike, but when you don't retire the base runner, you end up losing quite a lot of money here, so... They command tribute, not enough map control, as Just Carrier says. Truer words never were spoken. Production upgrade coming out for Orb. He's got AV fab done. And see, this is why I'm saying the base runner retire is probably essential, because look how slow the AVs are for Shrike. He's not going to reach his opponent's side of the board until AVs are already coming out over here, and then you'll probably be fine to defend, so... Yeah, I think if you're going to play like this, you really have to retire the base runner. However, seeing the base runner probably gives OrbNet a bit of a false sense of security, so there might be some intangibles there, but... Yeah, we'll see what happens here. Neither player's got Armor 1 yet, either. Probably we'll see Shrike get that right away after he finishes production upgrade. Oh, he doesn't have the money for it just yet. But yeah, base runner being in tow does at least mean he's got access to the TJ. He's going to want to hold that cooldown until after the smokes have been used, though, so he's going to wait for that first one. Here's Armor 1 teching. Yeah, now would be a good time for the TJ. Oh, now would be a little bit past time for the TJ. Okay, there we go. Armor 1 is finished. But yeah, again, Savant Carrier does a really good job holding off the AV pushes because it has that Sunder ability. And it looks like OrbNet is going to be just fine on the defense. Also, the base runner should probably die here. Yeah, and if you're Shrike, that's not what you wanted to see, because your opponent's on 2 base, but he's going to be fine to defend against you. That's an interesting smoke. Yeah, I would agree. Not to mention, there is going to be a counterattack coming, right? Because look how many AVs are up on the board here for OrbNet. So he can start marching across the field now and see if he can do the same to his opponent. SHRIKE gonna get his SC out though. Move himself up to 3 base, or 2 base that is, and then he'll probably have to just start spamming AVs. In fact, you really can't be building this right now. Oh dear, you know there's like 8 AVs chasing you, right? I don't think that SHRIKE is allowed to be building more economy like this. He really needs to be making AVs here. Still though, we saw what the Saban carrier does on the defense when it was over on OrbNet side of the map, so... I don't at all think that this is undoable, but you really need to be building units. Holy crap. You really need to be building units right now. Okay, there we go. Finally get the AAV started here. Smoke blocks the carrier, but actually blocks the ALM too, so I think that these AAVs kind of hurt themselves with that one. Armor 2 just finished for OrbNet, so now he actually has the upgrade advantage over SHRIKE. He's min-maxing his own defeat, perhaps. Really nice smoke there on the TJ, by the way. You love to see it. Smoke on the eco, too. Hey, SHRIKE is actually using smokes. Look, I'll tell you, this is another thing that really differentiates good players versus bad players, alright? It's whether they actually use the abilities that their units are given. Yeah, this is starting to look like a bit of an overrun, though. There's just so many AAVs here. And Armor 3 is done for OrbNet too, so these things are really tanky. Oh dear, they're up on the main base. Yeah, SHRIKE, he knows. He's like, this is not going well. He's gonna GG out. Dang, man. Yeah, if you're gonna AV rush, especially against a Saban player like this, you've really got to retire that base runner, because otherwise you're just hitting the field too slow. And at any rate, as he was expanding up to 2 base, he was like building more salvagers when the AVs were right here. That's way too late. So... I think this maybe could have been recovered from SHRIKE, but even so, moving into the mid-game, it would have been pretty hard for him. Oh well, 6.5 minutes, unfortunate, but we'll move on to the next one, see if we can do better here. Yes. Oh gosh. Oh dear. Good old Just Carrier. Well, here we are on game 2. Like I said, giving a faction switch here, so SHRIKE is playing the Coalition forces now, and he's gonna grab the Shallows as the map. I wonder if he's got something planned. Often when we see someone flip factions and have the map picked, they're thinking of something in particular. I see a base runner retire right away. So his plan was not to be Phoenixio and Turtle, which is good, because that's a terrible game plan. But OrbNet is going to be SC first, with the base runner retire once again. No changes there. And it looks like SHRIKE is trying to do the same, but he's got his timing off a little bit here. Okay, there we go. He's got the SC started now. Yeah, I think he had too many CUs. I can't speak too much to it, because I don't really know Coalition builds very well, but something went wrong. Anyway, LAV Fab gonna start, so he's not gonna be greedy. Same with him. Yeah, well, I would have done the same. This is why I always keep the base runner, because that's the only build that I know how to do properly. Pro player over here, by the way. And yeah, that is going to be a CU salvager. You shouldn't have that on RUs, alright. And SHRIKE can do the same if he likes it. He can pull one of these guys over to there. But he's gonna go for very, very early railgun fab. Okay, that's interesting. That's interesting. Tell you what, this is definitely a railgun map, but kind of for different reasons from Galician Territories, right? That map is so open. I mean, there's not a single rock in the playable area. Whereas this map has tons of them, and yet it's still a railgun map because these awesome high ground areas overlook tons of field here. It's a very interesting one. Yeah, the RU priority is huge here, because he's going to build another salvager for it. Also, I don't know what the driver of this carrier is doing, but he's going to figure it out eventually. And the LAVs will meet each other out in the middle of the field here. OrbNet going with the AAV fab. That's actually pretty good for Shrike. Because all he's going to need to defend is like 1 or 2 railguns up on this high ground here. Power 1 techs right away, so I think he's a little bit worried about getting overrun, but it's only a couple of LAVs. That seems like a bit of an overreaction. Not to mention, if you're gonna get the power, yeah, you should probably use it here, so he's gonna power that up finally. And these LAVs want to chase into the main base, but there's not really anything they can do there, so I feel like OrbNet is kind of overplaying his hand a little bit. Yeah, he's gonna realize and back away. Now, if I were Shrike, what I would really want to do is get vision on my opponent's side of the board and see what he's trying to do. Having the base runner for the probe would be nice for that, of course, but, you know, he did retire that. Carrier systems too? Okay, hold up. Something unusual is happening here. Oh my gosh. I think he's gonna go for like a carrier power rush? Oh man. We never see that. That's pretty unique. Alright, we'll see how it works for him. AVs are on the field, of course, but Shrike does have the railgun tech, so he's gonna have to build one of those, but he does have the tech ready for this defense that he's gonna have to make here. It's tough though, like he's building the SC, of course, he has his production line clogged up here. He'll be able to finish this about in time that he sees the AVs, but I think it's a little bit too slow. He just discovered it, he was like, what? You can upgrade your carrier power? I should have been doing that this whole time. Anyway, carrier gonna drive out for the block here. And the block is good, actually. He manages to keep this salvager alive. Wow. Alright. Systems 2 is done as well, so he's going to power this up. I'd love to see the healing powered as well, actually, to just keep these salvagers a little bit safer. Other side of the board, though, we do have an attack on the main base. And the carrier is just driving right in. Holy crap. Okay, maybe you build, like, 1 railgun here so that you can defend your side of the map, but... Yeah, well, the problem is that OrbNet's units are all very, very low. And he's targeting the SC, which is a big, big mistake. You target the salvagers. You kill these off, you get the same value for, like, much less investment. And as it stands, he's only gonna get 1 of them, so that's not really good. Yeah, and the SC, if he does a little bit of focus fire here and just kills off this AAV, he'll finish it pretty quick. It looks like he didn't, though. Railguns are out for Shrike. This is a pretty unique play right here, I gotta say. You don't usually see this. I would cancel these 2 on the queue, though, and get mobility upgrade, because that's a really, really valuable upgrade. Yeah, it's just a brick of hit points, you know what I mean? Your opponent really needs to be targeting salvagers, not SCs, when you're fighting the bases like that. Okay, carrier mobility, come on, it's a good upgrade. Please get it. It's cheap, too. It's cheap like a sheep. Come on! Come on! Also, the AV standing idle here and letting the salvager get healed, that's a little bit troll. But yeah, I don't know what OrbNet really has to defend. Oh no, Shrike, you can't be doing this! No, you can't be doing this, Shrike. You gotta cancel this queue and get mobilities. No! ACs are coming out, by the way, so I guess actually OrbNet does have something to defend. Oh no, he hit the heel! Ah! Oh, I hate it when that happens. Not like this. Oh my gosh. That is so tragic. Orb's gonna die like this. Oh no. By the way, people seem to not be aware, mobility gives you power. It gives you 2 power chips, so... But, yeah, like, the problem is that when you're queuing a bunch of units like that, you have money that you're spending, but not getting any value from, right? Whereas if you start teching mobility here, you're getting value from it right away. Because, you know, mobility finishes, and then you have the upgrade, right? Rather than just leaving a bunch of money unspent in the queue. Or spent in the queue, but unused. Do you know what I mean? Maybe I'm not making much sense here, but... Oh, hey, it's you! Yeah, nice defeat, by the way. No, that was an interesting series, man. That was a very interesting one. 1-1 in the end. Yeah, there you go. Resources committed without a return. Very well said, very well said. Well, I'd say we'd move on to the next one, but there's no more to cast. So anyway, thanks for watching.